Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon if you're watching the replay. I hope you're not, because this is the day that you really do not want to miss. It's so action-packed, pure content, really tapping into the biggest part of the sales letter, which is your offer. So if you've spent all this time with us, this is the biggest day. Bring your friends, grab your coffee, whatever you need, because this is going to be jam-packed with really good content to get you to the next level. And we are doing all of this with, of course, the amazing Jon Benson. Jon, hold on. There you go.
Hey, I think I'm on. Yeah, hey guys. How's everything? Can you hear everything? Good light, good sound, good everything? Everything good?
Everything's great. So guys, while you're getting settled, and we really want to recognize everyone.
You're cutting out really bad, Yvette.
I'm cutting out. Let me mute you. Hold on. We're really excited to share all the great feedback that has been coming, our ways from people reviewing, buying the accelerator, reviewing it, going through it. We're going to share a new testimonial with you. But before we jump into that, we have a lady with us that cannot stay the entire time, and we promise that we're going to help her with her story. So I'm going to mute myself and unmute Limor. And Limor, you on?
I think I'm on. Am I on? Can you hear me?
Yes, you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone.
Hang with us. We're getting terrible audio right now, but it'll adjust in a few seconds. So hang with us. Thanks. All right. All right, we're ready to take the question.
Okay, so thank you both, for Yvette and Jon, for doing this. This program has been absolutely fantastic. I'm actually here in CarMax in Baltimore, Maryland, because a friend of mine is out looking for cars, and I didn't want to miss this opportunity to be with all of you, and so I want to thank you so much. So my situation is, I also feel like I don't really have a story around this particular product. I just started selling makeup brushes on Amazon. The product is called purebeauty.today, and that's the domain, but that's also the name of the brand. And it's this makeup brush set that's great for travel. It has what I think are the core brushes, and I've tried to pull out what I think are sort of the essential elements that they are sturdy, they're good quality, they're lasting, they're great for travel, they're great for the woman who's like the busy woman who is on the go, and whether she's taking care of kids or she's a CEO or executive or an astronaut or whatever she is, she's ready to, she wants to be beautiful and confident and doing all this kind of stuff. And the thing is, it's not necessarily, I don't have this traumatic personal story around this and why I'm creating this product. It's more like I wanted to have fun creating something and selling it on Amazon, and I actually believe in the empowerment of women, and that we should feel and be, we are beautiful no matter who we are and what we're doing and what we look like. We are beautiful people because we're doing what we want to do best. And how do we tell a story around that? So that's my situation.
Okay. You know when I asked you guys yesterday is, you've got to make it harder on me than that. I mean, so, oh man, that one's so easy. I'm so sorry, but that one's really easy. And it's because I can think outside of you're so close to the forest you can't see the trees. But the pain point isn't you. The pain point is that the nightmare story is actually the ladies that are thinking that they have to sacrifice their femininity, their beauty, their radiance in order to be successful in today's world. And you tell a story of of what happens when a woman decides that she's going to be, I'm just going to speak meta here, a woman dives into her alpha and she forgets her femininity. She forgets the fact that she's a woman and that she's beautiful and she's lovely, and and all those things that make a woman a woman. And it's so easy to do in today's world because women, and I'm just going to go off here and give you the whole nightmare story. Listen, we have I'm talking as a woman. We have it's an unfair game. The game is a little bit rigged in the favor of men. Men don't have to worry about the things we do. Men don't have to worry about coming home and looking beautiful, and also at the same time holding our own in a corporate environment, holding our own in the working world. Our society demands that we do it all. So wouldn't you love to have something that would make that easier for you to do? So the nightmare story is just something that brief. It's like where you say, I've seen women who think they have to sacrifice their femininity, their beauty, their relationship to themselves as a woman in order to succeed in this world. In fact, Linda shared this story with me. She fill in the blank. She almost lost her husband. She almost lost her. Yeah, go down the line. You know, she didn't think she could have both a successful. I don't know the whole market, but a successful career as well as be fully in her feminine. And that none of that is true. And so that's just the very brief nightmare story that I would use. And it's such a compelling message for me because I'm around a lot of powerful women. My wife is one of them, and I'm very good friends with JJ Virgin, who's one of the most powerful women you'll ever meet. And I was talking to JJ. We spoke at a conference about 6 months ago together, and I asked her, I said, do you have trouble dropping into your feminine? And she goes, you know what, I had trouble for years. Now I just drop right in there, man. I have no problem at all. And this is a very powerful, tall, muscular, woman that most people would be intimidated by just by looking at her, and she's just completely in her feminine. So, but she said that's a huge problem in the woman market in general, in coaching women how to be successful in business or marketing or whatever. So I know it's a hot button. If you just touch a little bit on that hot button, you'll be like a hero. Yes.
You're absolutely right. I was not thinking about it that way.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you came on because that was and that's good. That's a big passion project in our family. So. And thank you for joining us at CarMax. I hope that I hope that Yafat has got her audio going on now so that she doesn't sound like she's clipping out like left and right. If that's the case, guys, just hang on because we're going to get to the 2 hours worth of training today. A lot of training, a lot of people still joining us. It's going to take us about that long to get through what I call the ultimate close formula. And the ultimate close formula is what has been very meticulously designed to close. I'd love to say it closes every sale. If that was the case, you'd have a 100% conversion rate. But closes more sales than any other formula that I've ever seen, ever created. We use it consistently, and I'd love to show it to you. I'm going to show you line item by line item. So a lot of notes. Be sure you have that worksheet in front of you. But before we get to that, we got some winner stuff to cover. We got some other stuff to cover. Yafat, you want to come in?
Yes. Okay, guys. So I'm going to share my screen because there has been a change in winners and everything. So first of all, for our game competition, we have 3 new runners, Russell, William, and Jonathan. This competition, the prize is amazing. And it's going on until tomorrow night, midnight Pacific. So tomorrow night, midnight Pacific, we will take a screenshot of the winners here, and we will email you what the big prize is. And first 3 places are getting the biggest prize. You want to tell them what it is, or do you want to keep it a surprise, John?
No, I'm going to go ahead and tell them what it is because when I tell you what it is, everybody's going to jump in and want to do this more. Okay, so you know how I told you that we gave away on day 1 when we launched Accelerator for you guys to actually buy, which was on Monday. The people that bought on Monday and only on Monday got a half hour with me on the phone. That's $2,500 value because I'm $5,000 an hour to consult with. And I was blown away by the number of calls I'm going to have to make. So, guys, girls, we're going to have to spread this out over the next 3 or 4 weeks. But we'll get to you, I guarantee you. So that's going to be fun. I can't wait to talk to everybody. And then the next day was talking to the next best thing, talking to our trained copywriting team here, one-on-one again. And the bonuses have gone from there. Well, what I decided to do for the winner of these points, at first I was going to give it only to the top winner, but we decided, you know what, let's give it to the top 3. So the top 3 guys or girls who are competing in this contest, you guys are going to get on the phone with me for an hour. It's a small group call, and that's a $5,000. I charge $5,000 an hour if it's on a call with 3 people or 1 person or whatever. So it's a $5,000 gift that I'm giving to you guys just for playing our game. So if you did buy Accelerator, then consider this. Hey, you just get that much more time. If you didn't, then hey, now you get this, and so it's a fantastic bonus. We'll walk through. We'll spend plenty of time with each person going through your needs, what I think you should do to whatever it may be, whether you can throw out your marketing needs, your sales copy needs, your positioning needs, branding, hook, whatever you want to talk about. So that's 1 hour call on a small group, just the 3 of us, and that's it. So that's a big one, and if you know my track record for helping people getting one-on-one, it's pretty amazing. It's a 90-10 track record. So 90% of the time, we take the money that people spend and we exponentially increase that.
That is amazing. And guys, if that doesn't tell you that you really want to come spread the word, I don't know what else will. And then there's another thing that we really, really have to share with you, because let me make it bigger so you guys can read it. We've been getting awesome reviews and testimonials from people reviewing, buying the accelerator, going through it, reviewing it. These are people who have not yet used the accelerator. And this review is from Maya, and Maya is an experienced copywriter. And she says she's a veteran copywriter, an NLP practitioner, and a coach. Having enjoyed some 24 hours immersed in the accelerator system, I can report that the system has shaken me up a bit. It's kind of uncomfortable to think that someone with little to no writing training can sit down and discover in just hours how to create sales copy that rivals the best copywriters in the world. It's all in the system, and Jon's accelerator system is flawless. The software does everything it promises and more. It takes ordinary folks by the hand and walks them through every step they need to take to write the perfect cash-generating sales letter. I will link to this review just so you guys can see it, can comment, and discuss it. But wow, I mean, veteran copywriting are telling you that this is the holy grail. So if you guys are still struggling, today should actually take you through the last hesitation, and hopefully we can answer any more questions that you guys have at the end. But we have a lot to cover, so let's get started.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you, Maya. That's such an honor to hear. We've heard that a lot from other professional copywriters. Like I said, we do have quite a few professional copywriters, John Carlton being the most notable in the accelerator family. So when you get John Carlton in there, if you guys don't know who John is, he's one of the greatest copywriters that's ever lived. And a lot of guys that you don't know who are very high-level 7- and 8-figure guys that write a lot of good letters. And when I hear someone that's been trained in NLP, a veteran copywriter, obviously from your writing skills, even in that testimonial, I can tell what you're doing there, and it's really cool when it's obvious to that. So just think about it. I think what the strongest part of that is what she's saying is a software that actually, in a course that actually, it's really a course that happens to come in the software that encourages you and teaches you and gives you the copy that would otherwise normally only be available through hiring a professional copywriter, which we've already talked about. If you hire a good one, we're talking a $30,000 to $50,000 proposition. So thank you so much for that. And today, as promised, we've got a lot of viewers still coming on. It's going to be a big, big show. It's a big, big show. Who used to say that? I don't remember. But we're going to cover the ultimate close formula. Inside Accelerator, and I'm going to use the Accelerator tutorial, the interface, again, to teach the course. This is called the grand offer. And the grand offer is the pitch, the close, the selling point. Everything you've done to this point has set the user up psychologically to be ready to purchase something if it's congruent with what they already believe. So we've already got the congruency messages, we've already got the rapport messages, we've already got lots of open loops. We're going to close some of these loops now. We've got it all set up and ready to go, but very much like a house of cards. You put one card out of place, the whole thing crumbles. So this is the part where the whole thing can crumble. If you just try to pitch something, if you come across too aggressive or not aggressive enough, that's usually the problem, by the way. At this point, people will not be pushed over the edge to say, yep, I'm going to take action. Now, let me remind you, if you first time you're watching these Hangout-a-thons, be sure to watch the other days, otherwise this won't make as much sense. Number two, this is about ethical persuasion. This is not about coercion. This is not about convincing someone they need something when they don't need something. What your job as a marketer is to make your user feel completely understood. Make the prospect or user, I'm saying user, someone that comes to your site and uses your interface, or prospect, someone, a potential customer, make them feel completely understood. Now, we've done that up to this point. We've made them feel completely understood. Now, you have to ask them for the sale. You've earned their trust, you've given them some good information, you've given them tips, and now it's time to say, but the best tip of them all is to buy my stuff. And now they have a compelling reason to do so. Now, inside this step 5, as you're about to see, there's going to be 6 different sections. And inside each of those 6 sections are multiple little sections that, in my opinion, you need to go through as an exercise and make sure that you have all of them in your close. Because at this point, You can actually drop the buy button now. You can drop the buy button. I prefer to drop it when we get to the price. It's a little longer, but I want you to go through it and go step by step, and then and only then can you say, well, should you say, you know what, I don't think I need that part, or yeah, maybe I'll test without that part. But most sales letters that I see that go through this, they include every one of them. They do really, really well. And I've really started calling this the ultimate close formula. It really is a killer way of closing. It attacks every single base that you think that you've covered. I guarantee you, if you're watching this as a professional writer, you'll miss a few things. In other words, you'll go, oh, I didn't think about including that, because we just analyzed hundreds of these VSLs, of course, that most of them that we've either written or produced, and the stuff that works came into this formula. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to dive in. You guys are going to have to take a lot of notes because we're going to go fast and furious, and it's going to be freaking awesome. Okay, again, we're looking at the Accelerator interface right now. And we've had some comments about, oh, the interface is beautiful and it's really clean and all that. And yeah, it's because we really took the time to do that. And we had some really great help from a company that does bootstrap software, and then we customized it to work inside of our own platform. So this is, we've asked where do you get this software? Well, we built it. So it's proprietary, and it follows you everywhere you go. As I say, it's Mac, PC friendly, iPhone friendly, smartphone friendly, it's tablet friendly, you name it, it's friendly. So anyway, we've gone through the first 4 steps, and we're at step 5, the grand offer. The very first step is called the product. But notice when I click on the product, we have a lot of little bitty sections to go over. Okay. Well, the product is this in the very first video is you're going to introduce the product. Okay. And this is an overview video that just covers basically what we're doing inside of the entire grand offer. So a 3-minute overview to say, here's the ideas, here's what you want to do. The very first, so just write down overview and formal introduction. That's really all there is to that one. And don't forget that we've got all of your copy already done underneath here. Like, well, this one you just click and insert your USP. But for all of the other copy, you'll see that we've got just tons and tons of examples for you to choose. Each one of them range from 3 to 14 examples of copy that you can use. So this is, again, just the overview of what the whole section is about. And now we get to the product and the USP. Your USP, if you'll remember correctly, was created way up here in your Getting Started section. So you don't have to create it, you've already done it. All you do here is you say introducing blank, and that's the name of your product or service, and then your USP. That's it. You've already set everyone up by step 4 of the grand offer, the transition into this, already done. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch yesterday's videos. And today you're just saying, hey, introducing this, or I'd like you to meet blank, or you know what, I've laid it all out for you in a blueprint, it's called blank. And that's really all there is to that, along with your USP. Your USP is what makes your product unique. It's a very short sentence that just simply says, this is the first and only blank that does blank. That's a great way to think of a USP. Something unique, it's a first, it's an only, it's a simple, whatever it may be. The next step in the close. So you've introduced for the very first time, and then, by the way, this is usually the very first image, unless we're doing animation, that I show in a video sales letter. I will show an image of the book or product, maybe. You don't really need to do it. Like I said, sometimes we use no images at all. The next section, the next subsection is called works even if. Now, what does that mean? Well, this is really, really powerful. This is going to be like this is the copy points that you're going to try under here, and you're going to watch this video to understand what parts to fill into these blanks right here. Because what you want to tell the user or the prospect is that this will work even if fill in the blank. So let me give you an example for one of my diet books. Okay, the Every Other Day diet works even if you have hypothyroidism and people told you that you can't lose weight. You have a genetic predisposition to gaining weight easily. You're big. You think you're big boned. I mean, I walk through every single objection that a user might have, and this is basically objection conquering. Okay, it's absolutely go through like. And so what you want to do is take a sheet of paper and write out what are the objections to people buying my product, and then you just turn that around. And you say, you know what, my service or product works even if objection, 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 and you just go through the list. And you end that with the phrase, or even if you think you've tried everything. That's it. That's the entire formula there. So I've covered their objections without saying, now some people might be concerned about blank. I'm not putting concern or anything negative into the mind of my prospect. I want them to know it works even if, and that's so powerful, that phrase. Look, this works for you even if, and I'll change it around, like I'll say this works for you. This gives you the results you want even if. Those are all variations on a theme. You can use any of that if you like, and list out everything you can think of. And it can just be bullet points, like it works even if you're, like I said, you're hypothyroid, you've got bad genetics, you've tried diet after diet, people have told you you can't lose weight, you've tried for 37 years to drop a pound and you keep gaining. I just go through every single objection I can think of and end with, even if you think you've tried everything. Now, at this point, what I see a lot of copywriters do is they go into testimonials, and they go into the worst case scenario, they go into the actual price. No, we're not even close to there yet, okay? What you want to do now is you want to tell people what it isn't. We are starting what's called a pre-qualification loop here, and it ends with this right here. It ends with out of the club, but we're going to get there. What it isn't. Now, what's really fun about this is you can say, now, I always do this by anchoring. I say, unlike the Atkins diet, Body for Life, and fill in the blank other famous diet book, my book has nothing to do with blank, 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 blank. So just in case you think, I want to make sure you're in the right place. This is not some radical fad diet. This is not some starvation plan. This is not some, and you just go through everything it isn't. Okay? Now, I can easily do this for any product or service. Take your product or service and list out everything it's not. What are you doing here? First of all, you're qualifying. You're pre-qualifying customers to continue on. But you know what else you're doing? You're subtly answering objections. But we just did that, John, in the works even it. Yeah, you're right. We just did that. But now we're reversing the psychology. We're reversing it. And that's really awesome. Doing this as a sandwich like this creates a massive amount of, oh, wow, there's no way I can do without this, okay? What it isn't is just really, really, really powerful. So list out everything that your product or service isn't. And so let me give you an example for 3 Accelerator. Okay, so I would say, now, before we go any further, let me just warn you. Again, all this copy example, you just click and choose here. I just know it by heart. Let me tell you what it isn't. Let me warn you about this. If you're looking for a completely push a button and in 5 minutes out pops a video sales letter, well, first of all, go to Disney. I used to say go to Disneyland.com because you're dreaming. That doesn't happen. It never will happen, and people are lying to you. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. This isn't some cheesy marketing program that has no test results behind it. This isn't some haphazardly thrown together copywriting tool that some B-level copywriter wrote. No, not at all. And so I'm setting up exactly, of course, what it is. Now, if you want to, you can have one sentence about what it is. What this really is the ultimate copywriting tool that's ever been developed, and it's already generated over $1 billion in sales. So that's what it isn't. Everything what it isn't. It isn't some tedious thing. It isn't something you're going to forget about. You can just list out every objection you can think that people will object to and say what it isn't. The next thing you're going to go to is the hero story. So I love this, and I never see it except in 3X VSLs. I don't see it. Okay, this is where you're going to look at how, and only if this is true, by the way, you're going to look at all the experts, and then you're going to find the hidden stuff that the experts did. And I talk about an isolation event here. Don't worry if you don't know. I'm going very quickly. This video explains what an isolation event is. That's really powerful subliminal thing, an isolation event, because this is the heroes. So here's how I might say this for a fictitious diet product. So when I put together Every Other Day Diet, what I decided to do is figure out the 1 or 2 things that made all dieters successful. I analyzed hundreds and hundreds of successful dieters, people that kept the weight off for years, even decades, and I found the one isolated thing that all of them had in common. And that is what makes Every Other Day Diet the best book that's ever been. So you see what I did? That's the hero study. I looked at all the heroes out there. And I actually did. I looked at tons and tons of it. So for copywriting, I can't say that. I don't say that in 3X because I didn't. I actually created the entire formula. But for your product, if it's based on anything historical, you can do that, and it's really, really awesome. The next is the results of the hero study. Okay? So it's a great thing they said that you looked at everything. Okay? But now you need to connect those specific benefits that you have to your product, to their story. Where you say, you know, the one thing that really stood out. And you know what? Just like all those other diets, the every other day diet gives you the same exact benefits of all those heroes. Wouldn't you love to join their hero story? Benefits like stick-to-itiveness, ease to follow through, et cetera, et cetera. So this is where you want to go through just a brief list of your benefits that relate back to the results of that hero study. And another thing you can say is, I found after looking through all these that these are the group of people that enjoyed weight loss. They figured out a way to keep the foods in there that they really enjoy eating. They figured out a way that they don't have to starve. That's the results of the hero story, and that's exactly what Every Other Day Diet, that's the name of my first book, offers you. Now, I could say that's exactly what fill-in-the-blank product offers you. I'm just using a name. Okay. Now, we're still not ready for the price yet. We haven't even gotten close to the price yet. And this is what I see people do. I want to kick people out of the club and close that loop. Remember when we said what it isn't? Okay? This is where I say, so let me just be really, really clear. If you're looking for something that's not what I just described, if you're looking for something that's not, and it's kind of funny when you write copy like this, if you're looking for something that's not as well tested, that hasn't been through the ringer with literally thousands of real world case studies, or if you're looking for a miracle pill, it's best that you just log off right now, because this is just not for you. If you're looking for something that's easy, that's so easy that that people will tell you it's so easy, oh, you'll drop 30 pounds in 30 days, this isn't for you either. Because that's bullshit. I will sometimes say that's bullshit. Some people might not want to swear, but I will say, you know, that's just a lie. That's not true. But what I've done, and this is the slide that I love the most, is I've made it as easy as it gets. So while weight loss is never easy, or copywriting is never easy, or saving money is never easy, or relationships are never easy, aren't you guys all nodding your head yes? Is copywriting easy? No. But when I say, so while copywriting is never easy, yeah, that's right, it's not easy. Relationships are never easy. You know, finding the love of your life is never easy. That's called agreeance. And don't worry, it's built into the copy here, so you just choose this. But agreeance is so powerful. You want to agree with your prospect on how painful it is to do whatever they're trying to do. Because when you say, oh yeah, it's easy to write copy, no, they're going, no, it isn't. I've tried it for years and I suck at it. Or it's easy to lose weight. No, it isn't. I've been overweight for 15 years. If it was easy, I must be an idiot, right? That's the last thing you want to do. So what you want to do is agree with them, because it's the truth. Look, so while weight loss is never easy, and if someone tells you it's easy, you should run, because they're lying to you. What I've done is made weight loss as easy as humanly possible. And you've heard me say that in my own accelerator pitch. I've made copywriting as easy as humanly possible. That's all you can ask for. Doesn't that just ring true? Isn't that a great, congruent, like just truthful statement? Well, I'm a big believer, like I said, in ethical, honest persuasion. And when you're ethical and honest with your customers, they're going to feel it. So when you agree with them that, yeah, it ain't easy to save money. I get it. There's always stuff pulling you left and right. But I've created a system for saving money that makes it as easy as it could possibly ever get. That is a true statement, if it is a true statement for you. I just made that up, of course. But that truth will ring true. Now we're going to qualify the remaining. What does that mean? Rapid fire slide technique, okay? This is where we're going to use one or two words on a slide that goes bam, 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 bam. And the reason why is we're setting up a hypnotic close. When you have rapid slides in succession, you set up the user gets into somewhat of a hypnotic trance, and then the moment that you move into the testimonials, they're completely glued to those testimonials. That's why we put the qualifying remaining part in front of testimonials. We want that to set the user up to go snap them back into attention and put them into a little bit of like a wow, I just got hit by like tons of stuff. So all you're doing here is if you want to blank, if you want to radically accelerate your copy, dynamically increase your revenue, get more financial freedom, get the life you deserve, bam, 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 one slide after another, you can go for 10 slides. Then you are in exactly the right place. Exactly the right place. Just ask blank, and that's how you move into testimonials. Just ask Tom. Testimonials are pretty easy. But I have a unique tip for testimonials. It's actually not in Accelerator, so I'm going to give it to you right now because I just figured this tip out last year, but it's pretty cool. Testimonials, people say, just ask Tom. Tom, let's pretend that you have a financial product. Tom was able to save, $150,000 this year, and he only makes, $150,000 a year or whatever. That's a ridiculous statement, but you get. I'm making examples. But here's what's interesting. Rather than doing that, what I like to do is, since you will now have the power of words right at your disposal, use that power and write a little mini testimonial for someone that sent in a testimonial, unless they're awesome, like the testimonial Maya sent in. It's just an awesome testimonial. I would never change it. But if someone sent me a testimonial and saying, hey, John, I used 3 Accelerator, and man, we've made a lot of money, and thanks so much, I'll email that person back and go, I'd love to use your testimonial, but could I get some more specifics? And I'll send them this little template. And you guys scribble down this little template. Little template is like your name, what your biggest problem was. And when you found the Accelerator, what was the first thing that you noticed? What's the results of going through Accelerator? And would you recommend it to other people? Those 5 things. If you didn't catch them, you'll have to rewatch because we got to keep going. Those 5 things in a testimonial make it so powerful that when they send it back to you, it's as if you wrote it yourself. But what did I do? I just kind of went through the 5-step VSL formula really quickly. I went through a pain point, building rapport. I went through a big, here's the problem, the solution with the Accelerator. Would you recommend it to other people? Is nothing more than a close. I recommend you buy this. Isn't that cool? So you can use these 5 steps for testimonials, and they can be that doesn't have to be long at all. But put 2 or 3 testimonials right back to back here. Don't worry, you're going to use a lot more testimonials later. Hopefully you have them. Social proof is important. If you don't have social proof, give your product or service to some friends. Have them go through it. Offer it up for review. We've got so much social proof, it's just ridiculous from our customers, and I still offer a very rudimentary version of the site for review purposes only, and then we take it down just so we can get pros to review it and say, yeah, it's awesome. Now, at this point, you think you might want to go to the price, but no, we're going to go to what is in your products. Let me click here. I keep clicking on the other screen. It's so funny. Okay, now all this is now it's time to brag about your product. You haven't even mentioned your product or service yet. You haven't gone into great detail. You just given them the one big thing that it does. This is the one thing that does blank. It's going to solve that one big problem. Remember back in the tips? It's going to solve that how-to tip. It's going to solve it for you. But what's inside of it? This is where you just want to go and say 4 to 10 slides. Say inside the every other day diet, you'll get the fast action meal plans. You'll get the 15-day blah blah blah. You'll get and that's all that this is. It's just what's inside the product. Here's what's interesting. You don't need to go into a lot of detail here, just enough to make sure the user knows that wow, they're getting quite a bit. That being said, this emphasize X is another part that I keep clicking on the wrong screen. It's funny. This is what you want to do is you want to emphasize features, right? Like speed, efficiency, service, ease of use. This part's important. So you just went over what's in the product, but then you go back and go, and you know what most users think is the most fantastic thing about blank is how fast it acts, or or people brag a lot about our service if you're a service industry, or people say it's the most efficient way of ever writing copy they've ever seen. So if you're looking for an efficient, fast copywriting tool, Accelerator's got you covered. So all I did was emphasize one of those many benefits. That's all I did. I just took one benefit and I emphasized that, and I phrased it in a way that most people say this is what they like the most. Now it's finally time to get down to the price, but we're going to tease. And this one's going to get a little bit tricky. When you get to the next section called the price, you'll see what I'm talking about. The price tease is very simple. You're going to just hint at revealing the price later. That's it. You're going to say, now, right about now, you're probably curious, how much is the Accelerator? Yeah, of course you're curious, and you're probably thinking that this may cost you, $5, $10, $20,000. Well, good news, that's not the case. I'm going to tell you more about the price later, and that's it. And you don't even have to go that far. You can say, you may be curious about the price at this point, and don't worry, I'm going to reveal that in just a few minutes. First, let me tell you 3 more things that you're going to have, and that's I go right back into more benefits. So I've opened a loop to that price tease, and I go back into 3 more benefits of the product. And guess what I use for those 3 benefits? Can you guess? the avoid, enjoy, and how-to models that we covered yesterday. 3 more benefits of the accelerator. The one thing is that you're going to do is you're going to avoid wasting precious time and money. You're going to avoid wasting time and money. You're going to finally enjoy and this is how fast you can do this. You're finally going to enjoy the prospect of sitting down and writing your winning sales letter. And one of the reasons you're going to enjoy it so much is you're going to have super confidence because all the heavy lifting's been done for you by one of the best copywriters in the world. So you don't have to fret over it anymore. And finally, you're going to know exactly what to do from step to step to step, taking you step by step right through the entire process. There you go. I just, off the top of my head, went through 3 more benefits, exactly following this formula. And that's exactly what you do. And all of that, my friends, ends step 1 of the grand offer, the product. And now we're going to move to step 2, the price. As you can see, this is why we needed so much time. Now we're ready to get into the price. This is optional. I call it a faux price. I've seen this work like a charm so many times. I have also seen it backfire, and you need to test what I'm about to tell you. When it works to the tune of increasing your conversions by like 35%, like a massive increase. So here's what the optional faux price is like I said, I've included a more cautious version just in case. So in the sample slides, as you'll see when you click on the sample slides, you'll see the cautious versions here. But what you want to do is create a value of your product. But a faux price says so basically says, at this point, you're probably wondering what the cost is. Like I said, well, I told you I promised I'd get back to the cost. I feel very confident in charging you $3,995 for the cost of the accelerator system today. I mean, after all, when you see about the bonuses I'm about to offer, that money is a drop in the bucket. That's it. So the concern there, and it's a rightful concern, is that if people hear, wow, $4,000, I'm going to window out. So a safe way around that is to say, I feel, so when it comes down to the price, when we first started this program, I decided I would sell the product at $3,995. As you're about to find out, I changed my mind. Let me tell you about that in just a moment, but here are the bonuses. So that's the optional version of that. You guys can choose whichever one you want. Bonuses come in here. Now, I could give a whole seminar on just how to create bonuses, but here's a couple of tips, okay? Use the graphics of your bonus products if they're really good. So people will buy your product just for the bonuses sometimes. They'll go, yeah, the product's awesome, it's okay, but wow, that bonus is really awesome. I really want to get that bonus. But if you, and by the way, if you don't have bonuses, obviously you can skip this section. Some products don't have bonuses. What I have found is if you have more than 3 bonuses or 4 bonuses, it gets to be overkill. You can have a super bonus, which is what I do, and so that would be 5 at the most. But I've seen websites with 9 bonuses on them, and it just kind of gets overkill after a while. At some point, you're like, why am I even buying the product if all these bonuses come for free? But let me give you some bonus tips that are not on this page. Write these down furiously. Number 1, your bonuses should never be something that would compete with your product. The bonuses I put together for my first book, Fit Over 40, were great. So one of the bonuses was called Why Grow Old. It was actually a book that was well out of print, and so we were able to take it and just make it really, really beautiful on the inside. Another bonus dealt with skincare. Another bonus dealt with joint health, if I'm remembering correctly. It's been a long time since I've looked at these bonuses. But you can see how that none of that competes with Fitness Over 40. It complements Fitness Over 40. You see what I'm doing? So these are all complementary bonuses. And when I mean complementary, it's a double entendre. They are free, but they complement the product. So I always phrase my bonuses like this. I wanted to put together extra bonuses for you, not to fluff up the price, not to fluff up the bargain. What I want to do is give you so many tools that will help you succeed, you can't help but succeed. I want to make it so much easier and quicker and faster for you. That's why I put these bonuses together. Because once you, now this is the real samurai trick, once you succeed at weight loss, and I know that you will, you're going to need these bonuses you're going to need this stuff to help you, basically look better and feel better. So I talk about looking better, joint health, feeling better, joint health, looking better, skincare, etc. It's assuming they're going to succeed at weight loss. Now, what's your product or service? Write it down. Here's the big benefit. I'm going to help people save money. I'm going to train people's dogs. I'm going to sell art. I'm going to whatever it may be. Okay. What if someone was to succeed at your service or product massively? What other problems would they now face? Now, this is also a way to create upsells. So if you come up with something really awesome, save it as an upsell. But if you can come up with something really quick, very simple, very complimentary, put it as a bonus. That's my bonus structure for you. It's very, very important not to have a competing bonus. Let me give you an idea of a competing bonus. With Fit Over 40, you're also going to get the Fit Over 40 Deluxe program. Well, that's just competing. Why don't you just sell me the Fit Over 40 Deluxe program? So, and if Fit Over 40 is an exercise program, you're also going to get, this exercise program. Well, that should just be included. You don't want it to compete. You want it to complement. Okay? So that's the bonuses. At this point, we're going to restate the faux price. That's good. So remember, I said I made up the faux price for Accelerator of $39.95 or whatever it was. So say, now remember, the value of the 3 Accelerator is actually $3,995, and that value is an absolute steal. But what's even more powerful than how awesome that discount is what happens if you choose not to take me up on that decision to buy. This is where this is the twisting of the knife, and here's all the copy samples so you can choose from there. You want to twist the knife at this point and talk about the cost of loss. This is also called an opportunity cost. For everyone who doesn't buy your product or service, there's a massive opportunity loss, and you want to explain what that is. In Accelerator, it's very simple. Yes, Accelerator is proven to give you copy. Yes, Accelerator is going to make all this awesome stuff happen, and for $39.97, which, by the way, that's not the cost of Accelerator. I'm just making that up. But for $39.97, that's a steal. But what's even more powerful for you to understand is the cost of opportunity loss if you don't take me up. You're going to spend more and more time twisting in the wind, hoping your sales page converts, and knowing it never will. Affiliates will start sending traffic, and they will stop immediately because you don't have the words that get cash. And they know because their sales will reflect it. Day after day, you'll wake up and look at your bank account. And instead of going up, it's probably going to go down. That freedom that you've been wanting, the reason why you got into internet marketing to begin with, that freedom of lifestyle, evaporating. It's like smoke, gone. You see what I'm doing? I'm painting a very vivid picture of cost of loss. And all those things are real, by the way. I'm not reading off a script in case anyone's wondering. I mean, I just know the cost of loss for not taking me up on a program like this. But that's what you want to do. So then you get into the reason for the discount. Now, this is very huge. I start by restating, that's why when I talk about the Accelerator at $39.97, you can see now why that's a drop in the bucket. That's a total bargain to make sure that none of that awful stuff happens to you. However, I decided to give you a discount today. Now, one of the things that I learned from a guy named Jordan Belfort, who you may know as the Wolf of Wall Street. And most people do not know the real Jordan. They know him from Leonardo DiCaprio's portrayal of Jordan Belfort or from reading his books. I've known Jordan for 6 or 7 years. I know the Jordan that is actually a very nice, now he's a very ethical guy. He was not an ethical guy at all when he was younger, when they made the movie. And he learned his lessons the hard way. But this is the one tip he gave me when he went through my program. He said, you know what, you guys all talk about but today I'm just going to give it to you for $49, and you had a faux price of $97. He's like, well, why? Why are you discounting that? And I just thought that was a fantastic distinction, so I came back in here and rewrote, created a 5-minute video to tell you basically how that works, how I'd like you to think about it. And this is what I do. I always establish a cause or some sort of for example, for Every Other Day Diet, I said, the thing is, I should sell this for $97. However, I have a goal, and my goal is to see 10 million pounds down. That's what I call my cause. 10 million pounds down. That's what I want for you and for the rest of everyone that buys this book. And I know the only way to make that happen is to make the book more affordable for people. So that's why I've decided to discount the price. You see what I did? I just created a cause, and that cause for me was real. But that's what's really cool about this now I'm encouraging you to create a real cause for your discount. If you don't have a discount, by the way, like if you're selling fine art, this may not apply to you. That's fine. Skip this step. But if you do offer a discount, like I train dogs. We had a dog trainer on the other day. I train dogs, and normally I charge $150 an hour or whatever to train dogs. And I decided, I just have this passion for pooches. I love dogs. And the more dogs I'm around, the better. And I just figured, yeah, I could have that high-end service, and it's worth that. But if I knock the price down a little bit, I get to be around more poochies. You know, I like that. So I'm just making this up, of course, because I don't know her story. But that might be an idea for a cause. It could be something as simple as that. But give them a reason for discounting it. And a great reason, a fantastic reason, is what I'm doing today and tomorrow for Accelerator. Today, by the way, is January the 31st. 2015. Tomorrow is February 1st, 2015. The reason for my discount is very simple. We're going up in price to $29.97 for realsies midnight February 1st. So guess what? This is the last time you ever get in. You know, so it's a very good reason for a discount. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to get everyone in at the price that I can before we go up to the higher price. We want as many case studies as we can for and we're getting tons of them. Whatever the case may be, come up with a case study scenario. That's used a lot, by the way. I want to create a case study. So and by the way, that's a very good line of copy when you say, and the reason I decided to discount this product today is because I'm building a case study, and I want more of you guys to be involved in the case study. So consider, because when you get involved, you'll help other people get involved. And so I've decided to discount the product. And now it's time for the price drop down, which you've all seen. So the price drop down should happen in 3 stages. Okay, so that's why I'm going to go back to, that's why fill in the blank weight loss book is not going to cost you $97, even for everything that you just saw. It's also not going to cost you even $69, not even $59. Here's the price reveal. Look below this video right now, and if you're using my Magic Buy button, the price appears right here. The code for the Magic Buy button is right in here, by the way. Don't worry about it. Got the code for you covered. By the way, all that Magic Buy button stuff that you see where that appears, we actually wrote that code. And it's so funny because I see it everywhere. I see it on all these professional sites, and I'm like just laughing because I remember my programmer and I coding it. Anyway, so and then boom, the button reveals, and now you can see now you can finally order the product. Say that's what it's not this much, it's not this much, it's not this much. Look below this video right now and click the button that says blank. And you want that button to be congruent. You want that button to say, yes, I want to lose weight today. Yes, give me the power of words to get cash today. Give me the 3X accelerator today. Don't say order now. We have already tested this. Order now, add to cart. They get the crap kicked out of them by what's called button congruency. So make sure your button is congruent with what you're talking about. Okay? And then underneath the button, make a blue hyperlink that says click here to order now. 30% of the people will click that button, and click that link, and the rest will click that button. So imagine you don't want to give up 30% of your sales just because somebody might not know to click a button. That's a really samurai trick, guys. I'm giving you away a lot more that's even in here. So come on, guys, take a lot of notes here. That's your price reveal. So finally, you reveal the real price. The real price is $47. The real price is whatever the price is. And now it's time to guarantee the price. And I want to give you my triple guarantee formula. This is so easy. Triple guarantee, when you announce, and like, I am so confident that the accelerator is going to work for you, I'm going to give you a triple money back guarantee. Notice I don't say triple your money back guarantee. I don't say I'm going to 3 times your investment back today. I know guys that double their money back. I know guys that say I'm going to give you a double your money back guarantee. That's awesome. But a triple guarantee gives you the same kind of power without having to give up more money than you should. So a triple guarantee is simply 3 reasons why you're guaranteeing the price. But it gets your attention, doesn't it? I'm so confident. I'm gonna in an accelerator. I'm going to give you my triple ironclad guarantee. Here it is. You don't have to always use this, by the way. It's just a great trick, and I love it. And it's a very, very cool way of guaranteeing something. So here's how that might go. First of all, if you don't see the financial results that you're expecting, and you don't get words that get cash working for you within 30 days, I'll give you all your money back. Second of all, if for whatever reason you don't like the interface, you don't like the tutorials, you don't like the way that the system works, or if you feel uncomfortable anyway, I'll still give you your money back. And you want to, I'm going to throw in one more, and this is where you get ridiculous. If you don't like the southern accent that I have in my voice, or the occasional northern accent because I grew up in both the north and the south, or if you don't like the font that we chose for the page, even if you don't like the colors, I'll still give you your money back because I only want your money if you're totally satisfied. See what I did there? It's like I made it to where it's like, wow, this guy's going to cover me no matter what happens. But that triple guarantee really embeds in the subconscious. So that is step 2, the price. We're rolling, folks. These are a lot shorter, thankfully. We're rolling. Call to action. A call to action is exactly what it sounds like. It's a call for your user to take action. And that is where you say, it's very simple. Here's the overview video. This is very, very simple. All you say is, look below this video now, click the order button. We just said it, but we're saying it again. And you'll get everything you just saw for X price. Okay? So again, make sure your button is congruent. This is right here. It's all about this. I talk about it in the video just in case you didn't understand what I was saying. And now, right when you go through the call to action, you want to go immediately to testimonials. Immediately to more testimonials. Same testimonial formula that I talked about before, just use it again. Or you can do what I call rapid fire testimonials. You can say, Karen says, best program I've ever bought. Clark said, I made more money the first week than I could ever imagine. Thank you, John. Susan said, and boom, 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 boom. You can also show video testimonial here. Now remember, your call to action button is already shown. So this is very important. People can buy your product starting right now. That means every minute after that point is gravy. You don't have to worry about how long your video sales letter is. As long as that button drops between 15 and 25 minutes, that's around the time. Sometimes you can go as long as 30. But as long as that call to action button drops about then, you're safe. At that point, guess what? You're going to go forever if you want to. Why not? You don't have anything to lose. The only thing you have to lose is bandwidth. Okay? But at this point, we're going to pull out some stops. We're going to get really samurai. We're going to pull out the samurai sword. We're going to get medieval on their buyers' asses. We're going to really start chopping some people up. We're going to have some fun here. Okay, so the testimonials come in. You can rapid fire them. You can do it the same way. You can have a video testimonial, like just listen to what Tom said, and then listen to what this guy said. Listen to what this super famous dude said. And now, as if they weren't already ready to buy, now's when you put in the super bonus. Hey, if all of that hasn't already got you so excited that you click the buy button, I've got a super bonus for you. I was going to leave this as a surprise for you on the landing page, but guess what? I can't keep it. I'm going to tell you what it is right now. And guess what? This is your very best bonus. Save this. If you come up with a bonus going, man, that bonus is so awesome, we should put that first. No, this is the bonus that's the sexiest sounding, hottest sounding, most valuable sounding bonus. This is where you want to come in with that one. And all you do is just say, look, put this in here. I've noticed that this converts up to 30% higher when you put your super bonus in here. And then put your super bonus, by the way, on the graphics underneath. Whenever your order button drops, you'll want to have a picture of your super bonus. So buy right now before this video ends and get this super bonus. So people will take action even quicker on the buy button. So super bonus, really, really, really good idea. Next up is inclusion. And what do I mean by inclusion? Again, that's a psychological term, and that means people want to feel a part of a club. They want to feel included into something. Okay, so you're going to encourage your prospect to take action because of the feelings of that other people are experiencing. Let me give you an example of what that means. It's like, okay, once you take hold of the 3 Accelerator today, you too are going to have the financial freedom that you just saw Ted have in the testimonials. Ted was talking about financial freedom. And wouldn't you like to join that, wouldn't you like to have that for your own family, the same financial freedom that he has? You're also going to get the power of words to get cash that Susan was talking about. Because wouldn't you like to have that? So again, I'm building a club of successful people, and I'm anchoring that successful club to them taking action. I want them to feel the same benefits of the inclusion. It's very, very powerful stuff here, folks. Immediately after that, I do another call to action. All that is look below this video now, click that button, and in moments from now, you're going to be taken immediately, and this is the next section, and in moments, the second you click that button, here's what you're to expect. This is one of the things that I tossed in the original formula, well, actually the second iteration of the original formula, that we saw boost conversions another 30%. So that's why I want to go over all this with you. This is all that you have to do for this checkout process, especially if you're going to cold traffic. If I'm going to warm traffic where people know me like this, it's not as important, but here's what you do. Click on the button below, that's the CTA, and here's what you're going to expect to see. You're going to be taken to our secure checkout page. It's going to look like this. Take a screen capture of the checkout page. And you'll notice, you'll know you're in the right place if you see this and circle something. And it may just be the headline, it may just be whatever. You'll know you're in the right place when you do that. Notice that our checkout is 100% secure. You're going to fill out your first name, your email, your address, and then when you click that button and you buy, you're going to be taken to our members page here where you log in. And this is what you can expect to see. So what am I doing? I am future pacing them without using future pacing technically. In other words, I'm not talking about totally present tense future stuff. And if you don't know what I mean by that, that's okay. I'll cover that in another webathon. But what I'm doing is I'm walking them through it as if I know they're going to buy. I am basically presupposing they are going to buy. But I'm also letting them know exactly what they are going to expect because I want to reduce what's called buyer's friction. Buyer's friction is what happens when somebody is unsure of what happens next. And let me tell you, clicking that order button can give you a feeling of, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen next, and you want to remove that. Again, that's very, very, very important if they don't know you, if it's cold traffic, if it's just a video sales letter. Not as important as if you're doing stuff like I'm doing where you can look at me face to face. I can literally show you on the screen, which we'll do later, by the way. I'll show you exactly what's going to happen when you order today. I just love that. I love this whole part, and it's not in most video sales letters unless they've gone through my course. So when you see it, you'll know where they got it. So that is the step. That is the call to action. So now we're on to our shorter steps, but still super, super important. The last 3 steps. Pain and pleasure. All human motivation is governed by pain and pleasure. We want to avoid pain before everything else, and we want to gain pleasure as a benefit. But we will do far more to avoid pain than we will to gain pleasure, unfortunately. That's just the way we are as a species. Not everybody's like that, but the vast majority is, and that's why we have to put pain first. So all we're going to do is what I call the 3 R's here. That's it. We're going to go through a reminder. The reminder starts by telling them what's going to happen if they don't take action. Again, that's the pain. Now let me remind you. Now I often use the term remember. Remember on one slide. Because remember is an NLP command. I am commanding their subconscious to remember something. Remember the pain that you are going to experience unless you take action today. You will never experience the financial freedom that you deserve. You will flounder around looking at blank sheets of paper, wondering what words to write next. Always trying to decipher if there's some hidden thing that you should be saying, or how should I word something. Imagine taking all of that off of you. Now we're getting into the pleasure. Imagine taking all of that off of you. And you can also go what's called future pacing. And that's what I do with the pleasure part. So I'll say, imagine this with me. You're sitting in front of your computer now, tomorrow maybe, and you're walking through the accelerator, and you realize, wow, it's just fun. I actually don't have to worry about what words to write next. It's all here for me. All I have to do is change a few things up to fit my own lingo style, but I don't have to worry about making sure I've got all this stuff included. And just imagine, you feel awesome. You feel confident. You feel like for the first time that I've got a leg up on my competition. That's all future pacing. I am speaking in the future as if it's already happened. But all my pleasure is put in the future. My pain is put in the present. Do you see the distinction? Pain of not taking action. This is what's going to happen to you, or I put somewhat in the future. This is going to happen to you, but this will happen to you starting today. So starting today, you're going to feel less secure. You're going to start your downward spiral right into financial ruin. You know, I wouldn't say something maybe that brass, but you get the idea. I'm talking about pain, then I'm future pacing pleasure. Responsibility. Here's where I remind the viewer that, you know what, something you've learned today, the fact that you don't have sales copy working for you is really not your fault. You have not been exposed to something like Accelerator until now, but now it is your total responsibility to take action. You owe this to yourself, your family, the people you've made promises to, the destiny that you want to create. You owe it to yourself to do this. That's responsibility. Finally, reinforce. All you do here is you just reinforce, and that responsibility, you know what? It's as ironclad possible as you can possibly ever hope. Remember, not only do I guarantee your success, but look at all the people who have succeeded before you. They started off in the same place that you are. And I'll talk about a testimonial here. And if that wasn't enough, listen to what this expert, one of the best marketers in the world, has to say about this product. Boom, testimonial. So I'm just reinforcing everything I just said. That's the 3 R's, pain and pleasure. That's step 4. We're on to step 5. We're doing good, guys. We're on to step 5, actions, results. We're still not through yet, okay? You think any moment now this is gonna end, right? No, no, no. We got a few more things to do. Remember that future pacing technique I just talked about, where I talked about things happening as if they already happened? Well, this is one of the most ninja, and I use the word samurai, techniques I've ever taught. It's inside Accelerator, so you don't have to worry about knowing what words to use. I'm going to future pace the buy. I'm not only going to assume the customer is bought. I'm going to literally walk them through exactly what's going to happen. Okay? So here's what I mean. I'll say something like this. The moment that you get, okay, you've got Accelerator already. Okay, I'll talk like this too. You've got Accelerator, and now you're logging into the user interface. What you want to do is you want to watch the very first video. You're going to watch that video tonight. And then tomorrow morning, you're going to watch the video blank. And that blank video is going to get you started on blank, blank, blank. I'm future pacing their actions. That's all I'm doing. Another way to do this is say, the moment you download Every Other Day Diet Today, I want you to turn to page 7. Page 7 has a very special message for you. After you reach page 7, you're going to go ahead and read page 10. You're going to do that tonight. You see what I'm doing? I'm commanding them. I'm actually talking in the future, right? But when I say you're going to read page 7 and there's a message for you, your subconscious goes, wow, I just have to know what's on page 7, right? Or when I say, for example, for Accelerator, when you get to Accelerator today, I want you to watch the 3X VSL Toolbox within 5 hours of buying it. I don't care what you do, make the time to do it. And the reason why is because the 3X VSL Toolbox will teach you more about marketing in 40 minutes than you've learned in the past 40 months. It's pretty powerful, and that's true, by the way. Next step, remember overview. Now, remember, here's what you're going to be receiving today. You're going to be receiving this, boom. It's just bullet points of what they're going to be receiving today. Because you can never make this assumption. Never assume that redundancy is a bad thing. Redundancy is usually a very good thing if it's done in the right order. It doesn't matter that you've already said it. It doesn't matter that you've already covered it. The attention span and remembrance span of human beings is that of a gnat. Okay? It's very short. So hey, remember, you're not only going to get the Accelerator, you're going to get this bonus, this bonus, this bonus, this bonus. The moment you log in, that's going to be yours. We're going to go to the next step. 3 more reasons actually to act right now. Now, in these 3 reasons, I go just watch the video, and it's a very short video. I explain basically what I'm talking about here with why you want 3 reasons. One of these reasons needs to be scarcity. One of these reasons needs to be that, look, without acting right now, the price is going to go up. For my case, scarcity is easy, but make sure your scarcity is true. So let me give you 3 reasons to act right now. If you need, I'll always start by like, look, if you're still watching this video, then maybe you just haven't quite heard the 3 major reasons you need to act right now. Maybe you missed that, and that's cool. Let me go back through it. Number 1, your sales copy is the oxygen of your business. Without having sales copy, your business dies of suffocation, and that is a law. That's not a theory. Number 2, this is the only program in existence that's written by one of the world's top copywriters, giving you words to get cash in an automated platform, while at the same time spitting out your very first or next VSL for you. And 3, if all that isn't enough, price is going to go up. We're jumping price. We're going to $29.97 come February 2nd. This is your only time to get in the same exact value and save $800. Next step, it's the only smart thing to do. And here is where you can go into the optional, and I talk about this, the optional, what's called the crossroads close. So if you don't want to you can just literally say, hey, this is the smart thing to do. Or you can do it like this. Now, at this point, you have a few choices to make. Number 1, you could keep going at it on your own. And I think that we both realize that if you keep doing that, you're going to be in the same place you were 6 months from now, a year from now. You're not going to be off any. In fact, you may be in a worse place. Second thing you can do is you can take everything I've covered today and try to piece all the words together for yourself. You've got the formula. You've got the formula going for you. But you don't have the words. You don't have the automation. You don't have the follow-through videos. You don't have the motivational videos I'm going to be sending you every other day. You don't have the group to support you. So that's not that smart of a decision, but you could try it. And who knows, you may get lucky. You may stumble on the right things after a few months, maybe a year or so, and maybe you'll succeed. I hope that you do. Or you can do the only smart thing, the savvy thing. You can choose to take advantage of my offer today, boom, and that's all you do. You say, choose to take advantage of my offer, look below this video now, click the button that says get whatever, and then you just say, and thanks a lot for watching. And then we get to the final section called the Samurai Q&A. And this is where, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm going to lose a few people. I'm going to lose a few viewers because of the way that I like to write Samurai Q&A. The reason it's called Samurai Q&A is because this is what usually happens. When you get to the end of a video sales letter, there should be like a 5-second gap or a 7-second gap where you just show the offer and you show click below. You know, that's the graphic that says click below to get now. And then all of a sudden you say, it's kind of the Ferris Bueller thing. What, are you still here? Are you still listening? You haven't taken action yet? So we started doing this a few years ago, and I decided to have some fun with it. So I said, hey, if you're still watching me right now, there's only one reason. It's not price, because you know that you can afford this. And it's not quality. You know, you've seen it, we've proven it to you. It's probably because you have a few questions that I might have missed. So I'm going to give you the most common questions and answers right now. What people usually do here is they go through and they say, you know, is it guaranteed? Yes. Can I succeed if I haven't got a product yet? Yes. You definitely want to have those kind of questions and answers inside your product or service. Answer the most basic questions and answers. But what I want you to do is throw in 2 or 3 questions and answers that all but cement the fact that if you don't buy this, it would be nearly idiotic. And I have some fun with this. And I'm going to give you a few examples of how much fun that I've had with this. So what I will do is take a testimonial someone will give me, and then I will rewrite that as a question. I will never use their words. I won't say that Joe Smith from Boston wrote this in. I'll just simply ask it as a question. So somebody might say, you know, I was a little bit unsure, you know, and frankly, it kind of blew me away that the first time I got Accelerator, I was able to lock myself in a room for 24 hours and come out with a video sales letter that changed our family's future. So that's an example of a real testimonial. So what I'll do is I'll take that and blow it up. I'll say, John, a buddy of mine, or a guy I heard about, got your course, and he essentially locked himself in a room, and he came out with a winning video sales letter. I frankly don't like the thought of having to lock myself in a room to get a video sales letter, and I'm not really sure this is for me. So what have I done? You know, and I tell the story like completely. He locked himself in a room for a video sales letter. In 24 hours, he came out, and now his family is financially secure. As much as I want my family to be financially secure, I'm not sure if I want to lock myself in a room for 24 hours. And then I just come back and say, well, you don't have to lock yourself in a room for 24 hours. In fact, I recommend that you go through the course over a period of 2 to 3 weeks. And our coaches will help you do that. And all I've done is I've set myself up a softball. You know, I've literally lobbed myself a pitch that I can knock a home run. Now, that's step 1. That's like gear number 1. There's like 4 gears to this. Gear number 2 would be something like we used for my wife Andrea's product. One of the ladies wrote in, she has a product that does hypnotic weight loss. I don't know if you've looked at the studies on hypnosis and weight loss, but they're very, very compelling. Hypnosis can actually help weight loss primarily because it just convinces your subconscious mind that you can do it. And Andrea's trained in this. She's really awesome at it. And so we put together as a upsell to one of her products, a hypnotic weight loss audio series. Well, one of the benefits that we heard from one person was it kind of made them feel horny. I don't know how else to say that. It kind of gave them a certain sense. So all I did was say this, Andrea, I've heard rumors that this product gives you a tingling sensation down there, and I'm like a happily married woman, and I'm a little bit concerned, is this going to hurt my sex life, or is it going to make it better? That's samurai, man. I mean, that's total samurai, because now she can come back and goes, well, yes, some people do report that, and it makes, yes, obviously this would make your sex life even better because it heightens the awareness, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I've lobbed a softball. You know, I've taken a real story and I've made it even cooler by phrasing it into a question. So that is the samurai version of Q&A. And guess what? Your Q&A, people ask me how long should it go on? As long as you want. As many questions as you can think of that people should ask. Cover every single objection again if you want to. Cover multiple testimonials. Have fun with it. This is a place where you can have a lot of fun with your questions. And if all of that, if you don't like that, if you don't like the samurai nature of that, you can do traditional Q&A. Just say, how soon will I see results? Oh, by the way, that should always be one of your Q&A. It's how fast will I see results? People want results fast. And I always say the results that you get and the results that you can expect to see, the reason the Accelerator program was designed to begin with, and we spent so much money building the software, is for that very reason, to get you fast results. If I just gave it all to you in a video course, you would never get the results it'd take you a lot longer. So fast is the middle word here. That being said, fast is up to you. Some people go through it in a day, some people go through it in a week, some people go through it in a month. It's totally up to you on how fast you want to get through the product. So those are the ways that I phrase things. So you always want to talk about fast. You always want to reemphasize customer service. Also, you want to use customer service testimonials. I love that. So inside your Q&A and say, John, I've ordered things online before and I'm a little bit leery because they forgot about me. And I'll literally say, here's just a few of the screen capture testimonials we get about our customer service. And in fact, yesterday was mentioning about how people were saying, wow, your customer service is awesome. We get emails like that every single day because our customer service is freaking awesome. I really do believe in taking care of people. I mean, how many products do you buy where you get a personal phone call from somebody, or at least a personal email saying, hey, not an autoresponder, like a real person saying, hey, thanks. Not to upsell you. And they'll pick up the phone and go, hey, welcome. Obviously we can only do that if we have your phone number, but that's something we just instigated because that's how far overboard we want to go. So I brag about the things about your product that don't have anything to do with your product. Brag about your service. Brag about your integrity. Brag about the fact that you're committed into this for the long run. That I can talk about. This is one of my favorite bragging points about Accelerator is, I have a few products online, and they're all around copywriting. But I'm not a guy that's putting out 19 different products on different internet marketing things. I'm all about copy. And my number one baby by far, the only thing that I do that's big like this, other than training copywriters, is 3X. That's it. It's all about Accelerator. So all of my time is dedicated to this. If you want to go with another product out there, hey, guess what? I know guys that put out 3 different major products a year. How on earth can they possibly give you any of their time like I do? How many gurus, quote unquote, are on Facebook answering your questions personally, right? That's how serious I take Accelerator members. And by the way, that's the conclusion of those steps. I hope that you found this not only really, really awesome and instructive, but also got to get you to know a little bit more about me and more about Accelerator. But speaking of that last comment, before I turn it back over to you, Fat, you will see inside, when we go inside Copy Posse, I'll show you in just a second, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. How many people just brag about like customer service, or they say great things about like, well, you over deliver, you're here all the time. The only reason that happens is because it's the truth. And I challenge any marketer out there to stand behind their product and services the way that I do. I'm not saying that guys like Ryan and Andy and all those guys are I'm not saying they're bad at all. Both, in fact, they're awesome. Eben, awesome. I mean, these guys are awesome marketers. If you don't know who I'm talking about, some of the top marketers in the world. But you know what, something? I mean, everybody's got their skill set. Everybody's got their stupid human trick. Mine is standing behind what we do and over-delivering and giving you, I think, the best product that there is. So if you have that feeling about your service or your product or the product that you want to create, if you haven't created it yet, work that into the Q&A. Work in your passion. In fact, you can end your Q&A by just a whole thing. What I talked about yesterday is like, look, I talk about my human passions. I'd love to hear from everyone. How many of you got my email this morning? We sent an email about 2 hours before the broadcast, and in that email, I decided, I got the draft of it. Travis actually wrote the draft of it because we're working in tandem, and I looked at it and went, no, I just need to say something else, and I do that frequently. And I decided, you know what? I'm just going to tell everyone what the story behind the story. A lot of you don't know what happened to me in the last 4 or 5 weeks of my life, and the fact that we still did this, and I was said, I very rarely brag. People think of me as a pretty modest guy. That's a lot of comments. My wife is very frustrated actually sometimes with my modesty because she'll introduce me as okay, I want you to meet my husband. He's like the greatest marketer in the world, the greatest living copywriter. I'm like, nah, no, I'm not. And she's like, stop it. It's like, no, I'm not. I think so-and-so's a better marketer, So I'm like, kind of a chill dude, But when it comes down to certain things, I'll stand up and take the bat and swing. And this is one, today I swung the bat in that email. If you didn't get that email, look for it and check it and read it through. Because not only did it tell you what I went through, it also gave you a little bit of inspiration tying into the Super Bowl, which is tomorrow. Even if you don't like football, I think you'll find the inspiration. So there you go. That's a lot to cover. You guys will have to watch this video again and again to get every single nuance of every single point. Obviously, we didn't give you all the copy because that's inside Accelerator, but I think this is the best close formula ever created. It's been proven to work to a tune of $1.1 billion in customer sales. $1.1 billion. And that's just to the people that we know about. In other words, that's the people that we know that have gone through the training or gone through the Accelerator or whatever. Now, I'm not talking about the people who just, copied it. And I have no idea how many billions of dollars that would be. So you guys now have it right from the horse's mouth, right from the guy who designed the whole thing, every single step of it. So I hope that you find it incredibly valuable. I hope that it increases your sales. And if you go through it and make it better, man, share it with me. If you think that you can make it better, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you think would make it better because I'm always about making things better. So, Yafat, that's the presentation, and I'm sticking to it.
That is so awesome because I know the hardest thing is to ask for the sale. And the hardest thing is to say, this is what I have. And, I struggle with it myself. When people ask me, what do you do? It's kind of like, how do you get to that? And how do you close? And how do you show all the great things? So you just put it in like a very beautiful, systematic way. I love that. So are we ready to bring in some people and ask some questions?
Definitely. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So we are going to share the link to the Hangout right now, guys. Update the screen. Update the page.